Hey, Ricky. Yeah, it's nice out. That sun is burnt orange. This phone doesn't show it, but maybe if I switch it like that. I took some regular video though, so it should come up. You can see it off the water. It looks good. Hey, Lila. Yeah, it's nice out. Somebody pulling a. Hey, darling. Check this sunset out tonight. Burnt orange sun. Can't tell on this phone. Daisy just went swimming. Water dog, Daisy. Yeah, I took some regular video, which is a lot better. I'll upload when I get home. This phone sucks on sunsets. Stay here, hon. Yeah, I just cut Daisy's hair. Her hair grows so crazy fast. This goddamn dog is always doing this. This fucking idiot. I got in his ass the other day about this dog running around like this. He asked him if his dog's friendly or not, and he says some days. He's that kind of fucking douchebag. I told him the other day, you get that goddamn dog in your truck, motherfucker, we're gonna have a huge problem. You know, comes running up to Daisy. He's a fucking redneck lowlife. No, we're not getting any smoke over here. Yeah, there is, but you know, out here, if your dog's friendly out in the middle of nowhere, no one, you know, it's no big deal. You got enough common sense to uh, have it on a leash if it's aggressive, not this idiot. And that was just chasing a truck. It wasn't even going after a dog or another person. You know, he's that kind of jack off. You know, you ask him, you know, I don't care if dogs are like, you know, just smelling another dog. You know if your dog's aggressive or not, but you ask him, is your dog aggressive? Sometimes. That's his answer. One of those kind of guys. This is Lake George. Yeah, it's nice out here. It's cooling off quite a bit. It was hot today. I finished all my taping, so now I'm ready to do my first color paint. I got a damn dentist appointment tomorrow. No, believe me, I can come really unglued for something like that. If I think my dog's in jeopardy or there's some ignoramus around that's just going to think that that's okay, that's not cool. It's kind of a burnt orange for the trim and the ceiling and olive green for the walls. Just sick of white and grays and all those boring colors. It's a lot more work mass taping off all the windows and jambs, taking the doors off, only painting one side, masking off all the trim, masking off the ceiling. But I just want something different. No, I didn't bring my kayak today. I'll tell you, you know how this is. You get something new, you want to try it. So technically it's illegal for me to have that kayak on the road. And if you read some blogs, because you can't go into the Secretary of State still like you could for this COVID stuff. So in the old days, the next day you get up, you go into the Secretary of State and you get your trailer plate. Now you got to make an appointment. And the earliest appointment I could get was Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So does that mean you can't use your new boat or kayak or whatever the hell it is until then? Legally, yes. Does that mean they're forcing it? From what I read, it's iffy. So I wanted to use my kayak so bad. I'm a gambler. I thought I'll just use it, and if I get caught, I get caught. Well, I didn't get caught. Well, it was really hot today for one, so I only have till Tuesday to be legal. So today was a day where I was about 50-50. I didn't mind gambling on taking it, but on the other hand, I didn't want to get in any trouble, and I wasn't super excited to use it because I'd already used it 2 times. So I thought, well, I'll take the high road and wait till Tuesday to get my plate, and then I don't have anything to worry about. I changed a couple of the wires on it today, changed the bulbs. They had the wrong bulbs in it, so I got some things done. Yeah, well, I'm not saying, hey Jennifer, I'm not saying that John doesn't do a good job taping, but I have a couple of friends of mine that, laugh when I tape things or when I use a paint knife. I don't know if you're familiar with those or not. You can get them in different lengths. And if you look at the painting job I did, I find it hard to believe that anybody can hand paint the way mine looks with going to the trouble of taping and using a paint knife. You think I would do that if I could get away with it? It's a pain in the ass, and it takes a lot more. Now, you may be able to get away with a good brush in certain instances, but I haven't seen any examples of that. Anytime I look at somebody's stuff and they're bragging to me about not using masking tape or a knife, it's pretty damn obvious. It's not the same line. I mean, Home Depot isn't loaded with stacks of different kind of painting tape because it isn't used a lot. It's more like a folklore myth to me than it is a reality. If you had to go in, dink around with maybe running an edge in a kitchen or something, in a wall and a ceiling, but in a big job, just taking this brush and acting like you didn't need tape, I think's a pipe dream. It's good. That's why I got it. That's why I got the one that I did, because of choppy water. It's almost impossible to tip over, and you can get back in it if you fall out without tipping it over. It's the best kayak out there. It's Hobie Fisherman 14, I think they call it. It's $2,600 with the trailer and the kayak, which is pretty good, really. I went to Walmart, swoop right down and grab a sparrow and take off with them. There's a purple martin right there. Swooped right down, tacked him from behind, took off with him. One bird eating another. Yeah, it was definitely it's definitely less money than my camera, that's for sure. I use that blue tape. I think 3M makes it. It's everywhere. You see it wherever you go. It's got the cellophane wrapper around the outside. You can get it in different widths. I use 3/4. It's the best one I've used, because here's how I define the best one. It goes on easy, and you don't need a damn putty knife to get it off if you wait too long. They claim that it can be on 6 months if you have to have it without leaving any glue residue. I've used it before. It really works, but I take a lot of time in taping off my stuff. And the older I get, the less time I can spend at one sitting. I'm good for about 2 hours, and after that I start getting sloppy, so I quit doing it. So it's taken me a while to tape that, all the trim, take the doors off, all the jams, all the windows. But I finished it today, so now the hard part's over. Although I will need to do trim again when I do the walls. I guess I just love taping. Yeah, 3M. Yeah, there are different types, but I mean, I use the one that's recommended for the application painting a room, so I mean, I used it and it worked. And I'm using it on drywall, which the sticker says, so I'm not really familiar with the other brands, but the other versions, maybe it's for metal, or I don't know. Hey, Greg. Yeah, I don't know how you paint for a living. I could no way do it. I hate painting. I saw a guy pulling a kid today on a raft and a jet ski, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal. That you're required to have a spotter. And it was just him looking forward, pulling a kid on a tube, which I'm almost sure is illegal. Well, I've used this tape before, and I've, waited a week and then pulled the tape, and I got a super straight line. I'm too lazy to pull the tape and paint on the same day. Oh, looks, this guy's, I don't know if this guy's motor quit or he's just pulling in a rowboat. Hey, Roxanne.
People taking video. I don't know where you want to go. Go up to the dock. To the dock. Dad, sit still. Dad, we only got 2 more gas.
Are you kidding me, Roxanne? How can they pick you up just based on a phone call?
Where do you guys go and park this? 2 more gas. Daddy, go you. This side?
Oh, okay.
Huh?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
You just killed yourself. How are you going to get in there? Never parked or something before.
You'll be able to do it. You guys are going straight enough, I think.
That's all right. You did good. You're just a bit too fast. Wanted to flip us or something.
Me? I turn around and Josh laughing. Josh laughing means
your
go.
face. Your face is hilarious.
Josh laughing means go.
Got it? Here you go.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
That's how I look.
You tied it.
I know.
So how can someone call and the police show up and take you away with no proof, no due process? I mean, this isn't adding up. Come over and wreck your channel just like they've ruined their own if you give them the opportunity. That's how they all get their foot in the door, whether it's Debbie or Elaine Peebles or some of these other troublemaking drama morons. They're going to come on and appeal to everybody's reasonable sense about the tragedy that just happened. They can take it someplace else. Yeah, I think she's full of shit on top of it. Get lost, Roxanne. Don't come back.
Somebody got to Josh the keys are in this center part.
Yeah, no, get rid of it. It looks like Ollie, kind of. Just another troublemaking lunatic. Canadian pig. Has nothing to do but try and cause trouble for people. Yeah, I don't believe it, Jennifer. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's how their lives revolve around making up stories that aren't true. Get lost, Roxanne. Don't come back. You belong in jail, but not for those reasons.
Okay, which is fine. I mean, up there they could come.
Yeah, they're total super losers. This is how they operate. You recognize it after a while. There's huge groups of people.
And then Addie vomits in the pool because she's fucking choking.
All you gotta do is come over here.
Yeah, I don't believe any of it. Yeah, get rid. And you see them on there, get rid of them. I mean, even if that happened to someone, who do you know other than a child that would just come on a channel that they didn't own and start talking that crap? It's so obvious. Their IQs are so low and they're so stupid. Yeah, big time. That's an old two-stroke right there. Those are cheap, but they don't last very long. Yeah, you'll learn, Jennifer, the longer you're around. You can figure it out pretty early. When you first get on, you try and want to believe people, and then you see how they operate, and that's just a classic sign right there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're obsessed with me. I think that they're desperate, lonely people that haven't been laid in 35 years. And when you're not interested in having some kind of even email exchange with them, they go in the psycho mode and start stalking you. I've had probably 20 of them since I've been on YouTube, but it's pretty easy to ascertain early on. Other than this Indiana stalker a couple months ago, she kind of surprised me. And a way you can get me is if you're in trouble or you need something or you're suicidal or you're having a problem with depression. And she laid low for a long time. Everything was great. Daisy was the best dog in the world. And she liked the videos I did. And I knew she had a good job, had worked at the same place for 20 years. So she found a way in. And then I luckily recognized pretty early she was a lunatic. And thank God that I recorded her phone calls, because if I didn't, she puts an old enough profile up and responds to videos to where you'd think she was normal and just an attractive younger woman, and she's not. She's just a misfit that has trouble wherever she goes. She's got sock accounts. She started trouble with other channels. And I was lucky enough to record on what a true lunatic she is and upload the audio. Because minus that, she could have caused me some trouble making up stories. Yeah, that's usually the main thing, is when they get kicked off. I've had a bunch of them. I mean, you know them. Catherine313, another psycho loser. There's bunches of them. SG, I mean, you name it. I've had about 20, I'd say, in 10 years. But that's not happening anymore, because ever since I decided to do that and it got that bad, I'm not meeting anybody off YouTube anymore. I'm not exchanging emails. I still get about maybe 20 like fishing expeditions. Hi, I watch your channel, I'd like to chat. So not happening. It's not happening. You could have the most rockin' body in the world and be 25 years younger, and you're not getting a response from me. I don't even respond when I think they're legitimate. I don't answer any emails anymore. If I get texts out of nowhere, I don't answer those. I blocked everybody in the email that I know that I tried to get rid of. So I've reduced my exposure to potential problems, because There's no communication. Now, I'm sure that I'm going to hurt feelings of some decent people out there that just want to say hello, but that's the way it goes. It's not one or the other. It's not one or the other.
Hey, Dad. Hi, Daddy.
Yeah, it's just I don't really get it. Well, you know, I bet these people were probably around, you know, since mankind, but you never got a chance to confirm it until you got, like, you know, the world looking at a channel. And really, if you look at the population in general, it's still a very, very small group of people. Most people are fun to interact with. You wouldn't mind meeting them someday. So when you look at the big picture, statistically, it's still, you know, one out of what, maybe every 300,000 people that's a stalking wacko. You know, that's not very high odds. But it seems that way when you get 20 of them in 10 years like I have. But like I said, those days are over. Because I'm not meeting anybody new from YouTube anymore. It's just not worth it. First of all, I'm not looking for anything from anybody anyway. So when you look at the net possible result, it doesn't make any sense. It's caused me more grief than it has interaction and fun, so screw it. Hey, Patricia. Yeah, I think it's different than compulsive, though. This Indiana kook was really one. That Catherine 313 was a super nut job, too. I'll tell you the way that started is, you know, she was a moderator, and actually she did a good job, but she showed her hand one time early on. And I thought, this lady's nuts, but I just kind of let it go because it was obvious she didn't have a lot going on. You know, she'd answer every video, she'd comment on every video. You know, in a way you kind of feel sorry for some of these people. What happened on that is, you know, I was going down to Detroit a lot, and she started emailing people that, you know, she had got a hold of their email one way or the other, which happens. You exchange emails with people if you have a common interest on chats and that kind of thing, and started telling them that when I was down in Detroit that I was ignoring her. Well, I knew right then it didn't get any more nuts than that. I had actually taken her out to dinner a couple times just for being a good guy. I wasn't interested in her at all. And these lunatics, they misinterpret that. So it wasn't I was ignoring her. It was I didn't have any interest in forming any kind of relationship with her. So once she started emailing people on the channel, that was it. I just cut her off. But what really seemed to make her go off the deep end is she couldn't understand why I took her off as a moderator. Well, you know what? When it gets that far down the road, I'm not explaining anything. We're just not having any more kind of relationship. Not gonna explain it to you. You're nuts. Hey, Conan. Yeah, people are just nuts, man. There's all sorts of women that email me all the time, and I'm telling you, it's like you know, it's not 100%. It's not like being an FBI profiler. You know, those things are better than not having them, but they're not 100% accurate. So there's sometimes I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, there's enough behavior out there from this type personality. I think anybody could ascertain if you've looked at enough of them like I have. After a while, it's just very obvious. Like this lady that just came on about getting locked up. It's total bullshit. And who would go on a channel that they didn't own and talk about that other than a troublemaking, conniving loser? So I canned their ass and they're gone for good. It's gotten better. I'm just hoping that someday YouTube is like Facebook, where you can block by MAC address. In other words, the machinery you're using as opposed to screen name or IP. It'll be much better. That way they can make up 10 fake IDs and they still are not going to be able to get on your channel and comment. So you can see, I mean, people have started channels. You think you have an idea what people are like, and then, you know, some time goes by and you realize what they're really like. I mean, I guess it's no different than any other facet of life. You know, and that's why people get divorced and you quit dating people and you move because you couldn't stand your neighbor and all sorts of things like that. And I guess YouTube's no different. Yeah, everything that you enter, everything, look it up. MAC address, that's exactly how it's spelled too. Anytime you enter the internet, whatever piece of equipment you're using, whether it's an iPad, a desktop, a laptop, a phone, you have a specific number tied to that piece of equipment. It's called the MAC address. And they've been using that for a long time. When they first came out with manufacturing equipment, they didn't have it. I think that was kind of an FBI government, international security trade agreement, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's how they catch these perverts and stuff. They tie that device to that person. It's more than just IP address coming into your house. Now, for a long time, they had a hard time with dynamic IP numbers. And you can still get those through a third-party provider. And it would be a dynamic IP address, which meant that every time you came on with AOL, it would be assigning you a different IP, which just caused fits for law enforcement. I'm sure there's pedophiles walking around that should be in prison because they had an AOL account and you just couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that was them. Well, those days are over as well. It doesn't work with AOL, but you can get you can lease space in a private server. I think the CIA owns most of them, to be honest with you, or the FBI. And you can change IP numbers, but you still can't change that MAC address. So when they really want to get you, you're screwed. Anonymity is like pretty much out the window now. How do you think they're extorting all this money out of these companies by commandeering their IT department and making them write checks for $3 million? It's because they don't know who the hell they are. Oh, which one you talking about, Jennifer? That kook in Indiana? I think that lunatic just just texted me the other day under a new phone number. I'm not sure, but I got a text from a 219 area code, and it said, "I need help badly." And I could tell that that number had never sent me a text before. And I thought, there ain't no way in hell I'm answering this. But these people, even when they get defeated and called out, that you show through audio recordings that they're absolute lunatics, their personality doesn't allow them to drop it. They'll lay low for a while, they'll quit doing it, but their personality makes them want to come back to the well to create some more drama and trouble. Yeah, well, Facebook you can do that, but YouTube is still out in the kind of out there in the nowheresville, you know? Yeah, she had a video about Daisy. That's what I mean. She's just nuts. I mean, that if you had any reservations about if this lady's a lunatic or not, that ought to put the cherry on the top for you. They just can't go away. Gonna up wiped pictures off my videos about my dog. Yeah, it doesn't get any crazier than that. Hey, Stacy. Yeah, it's just they just got to go back to the well, and they thrive on drama and trouble. But that's the kind of lunatic right there that'll get a guy in trouble someday. No, tell me about it, man. I think that's so. Not too many people have 10 million subs, though. Yeah, you see their truth trailers, yeah. Yeah, she doesn't have, her channel's absolutely dead. She's had the same amount of subscribers. Nobody watches her chats. It's the same way with Angie. Just boring people that have nothing to do but act like children. Angie seemed all right at the beginning too, and then you got to find out, before you know it, she started talking about the appearance of looks on different drug addiction, and claiming she was broke while ordering food out every night of the week. And what happens is when these people get outed and you call them out on what losers they are, they right away go to the drama mode. chosen one's this, chosen one's that, chosen ones shouldn't be doing this, because there's nothing else left to do. If they can't drag somebody else in and create this kind of content from another channel, there's nothing, because no one wants to listen to her play some stupid game. She's not funny. She's not particularly attractive. She doesn't know anything. She can't spell simple words. Why would anybody, her grammar is slaughtered every time she talks. Why would anybody be attracted to go on there and listen to anything she has to say? Out of this, which I thought was an interview, addicts anymore. You got to see the real Angie. Yeah. Yeah, Sharon's another one. If you look at her old interviews, isn't smart enough to get it that her channel's going nowhere. I mean, I think she stood a really good chance at the beginning of doing something. I mean, people liked her. They wanted to help, but as time went on, now it's the ghetto slang and you ain't shit and just talking filthy and running around at 45 years old in the kids' swimming pool, decorating a bike like she was in the 5th grade, which is her business if she wants to do that. The point here is she lied to people, got them to give money under false pretenses, and never returned any of it. As I said a million times, I was happy to just go the other way, not say anything, and take her videos down, which is what I did, but she just kept it up. And again, there gets to a point where stuff gains steam, and if you don't say anything, or if I hadn't uploaded audio tapes of her being a backstabbing, troublemaking liar, I think people could have probably believed it was me and not her. That's exactly what it is, Lori, because like Craw Debbie, she has no content. She's an idiot. I mean, she lives with her mother and she's almost 50 years old. None of these channels go anywhere. I mean, honestly, I've told Bobbles before, if you get to know Bobbles, she's actually pretty sharp. But those channels are always going to be very limited, because I think she's actually intelligent enough to run a legitimate live chat about current events. But she chooses to get involved with this sharing kind of stuff and Maddie and Gerald stuff, and they just, people don't get it. I think what happens is they're surprised at any attention when they log on YouTube, and they don't understand when they start a channel that the reason that their channel kind of got off more than it would have had they not name dropped is because of that. When you mention Maddie and Gerald, and you mention Sharon, and you mention people that people already know about, people like drama. Why do you think it's always in the newspapers and the front of People magazine? But once the dust settles and they realize that there's no original content, 500, 600, 700 subscribers, and you'll get people to show up to chats, and there'll be 70 or 80 people. But it's nothing in the whole scheme of things. They start out with a bang, but they're going to be in the same position now 3 years from now. There's no growth, no interest, and they're getting the same people coming back listening to the stupid shit. Yeah, Lynn Chilla is another total loser that's been kicked off everywhere, that sends me emails that go right into my spam. Has nothing going on. Yeah, just nothing but a troublemaker. Oh, thank you, Jay, killing it. Yep. Yeah, you're done, Lynchella. Get lost, you loser. See, they have nothing else to do, but she's got nothing else to do now. It's a Sunday night. Most people went out and had fun, did something nice. She sat around all day waiting for channels to come on in the evening and talk about things so she could start trouble, act super immature, and go around and try and create as much strife as she can. She has no life. Yeah, God's child, you can get lost too. You can get lost too. Go start your own channel and see if you can ruin that. Bye-bye, loser. I don't know what these people do. I'm sure their blood pressure goes up when they block, but that's not my problem. Oh, you don't think she meant to be mean? Well, if she didn't, I'll unblock her. But I mean, those are a couple like weird comments. So I mean, no matter who she was talking to, uh, it's just not normal conversation. Oh, you hit him by mistake? Oh, okay. It's so much trouble too. It's not allowing me to unblock him. Oh, there, I just unhit him. Isn't that crazy, Lauren? Oh, okay, yeah, I just unblocked you. Sorry about that. I mean, people get blocked accidentally. It happens. I mean, there's my Daisy girl. Oh, okay, that's no problem. Good girl, hun. Yeah, I mean, you don't go. But after you have a YouTube channel for a while and you get a lot of this stuff, you kind of get numb to it, believe it or not. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I'd rather it not happen than it did. It's just the way it is. Oh, raining, eh, Jody? These people are nuts. See, stupid Lindsay, I blocked her on every other screen name she used, and I blocked her on emails. So she must have been laying low this whole time on making comments, and she just couldn't stand it anymore. So that's good she opened her big mouth, because she's blocked again. Oh, good. Yeah, you had I'd have a good night up there. You better make sure they have a place to stay, because, man, up there this time of year, it's hard to get a room or a cabin or anything. Oh, good. Yeah, well, I knew there was some smoke going out in different places, but we didn't get any here, so I'm not really sure where those fires are. Last September, when I was heading out west to Montana, they had some fires down south, and it was really smoky for a while. Actually, I wore a mask for a while. You don't want to be breathing smoke in. I've mentioned this before, even campfire smoke, you make sure you stay upwind of that. Campfire smoke, even though it smells good and it gives you good memories, it's hell on your lungs. Yeah, it's supposed to be hot here tomorrow, like 90 something. See, now those guys didn't have life jackets with them. They'll get a ticket if the sheriff's out here. Yeah, it's really bad for you. Yep. Any kind of smoke. Yeah, I'm not really sure on Daisy and the Lake Adventures. I'm not really sure on that right now. I mean, I'll find out. If I think she really doesn't like it, I won't take her with me. I don't really know. I'm kind of at the 50-yard line on that. I mean, when she gets up in my lap, she seems fine. Yeah, make sure you wear a mask. Dinner was good, yeah. I felt bad. There are two of the girls that sit you down when you go in there, and the waitress are just really nice girls, and they had 2 customers today. Yeah, that's what I think, Mark. But I don't know if she likes it or not. You know, now swimming, I know that she's not. You're never going to see her go in the water by herself. But I know after I put her in it and she gets cool, she likes it. So I think it's kind of on that level, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want her if she's miserable, you know, but I don't think she is. I just think it's new and, you know, she's cautious. No, I can on the back, but I can't on the front. I mean, that's a big enough space for her to lay down. She's not taking any more space when she's laying down anywhere, whether it's on the floor or in the bed. So it's big enough. I just don't know that she likes being out there like that, for sure. You know, she can get down whenever she wants and get on my lap, and usually it's about a half hour. So I'm just not sure. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, she's not as content like she is in a car, or she's not happy like if we're walking out in the woods. I'm not sure. I'll just have to play it by ear. I mean, going in the car, no problem. Going for a walk, no problem. But I don't think I could be in the kayak and say, come on, we're going walkie bye-bye. I don't think she's going to be wanting to get in there. That kind of thing. Yeah, I looked for dog beds, and I didn't find the right size yet. They're really kind of out of them places. I had a hard time finding light bulbs today for the trailer. You go in, there's like no light bulbs. I don't care where it's at. They're not getting their orders. And even like on the side of one of my lights on the trailer, that red reflective lens is cracked. And that kind of stuff drives me nuts. So I looked around for one here and I didn't find it. So I ended up ordering one off eBay. Hey, Frisky. Yeah, I'm not going to force feed her, though. I mean, I've had dogs in the past. Boy, they were all out to get in that boat. Daisy, I'm just not sure. Yeah, Chewy's got a lot of good stuff, too. You know, I wanted to get that DNA test, but the results are so poor. What good does it do if you still don't know what kind of dog you have? And if you look at some of the feedback on those Chewy DNA tests, there were people that just were suspicious of it and sent the wrong just sent the blood in as something else, and they were 100% wrong. So you kind of wonder if a lot of it's a big scam. Oh, okay, Conan. I don't think she'd swim to the kayak. No, I don't. I mean, I could dump her off and she'd swim to land, no problem. But no, I don't. You know, last night after I was doing that live, you know, you have to have that white light in the back to be legal. Man, did that thing draw the mosquitoes when I got close over here? It was kind of cool last night, actually. I hadn't been out in the water at night in a long time. And I know it sounds crazy, and this isn't that big of a lake, so it's really nothing you need to worry about. But I'm telling you, after the sun went down, I didn't know where the hell I was out here. I was just kind of paddling around, talking, doing a live. And when the live ended, it's just weird how you can get so disoriented. There's two people way on the other side in two kayaks. So, you know, they're both illegal right now. It's legally past sundown and they don't have lights. So if a Marine Patrol came out there, they'd give them tickets. Get out of here, Ollie, you loser. Yeah, that's actually why I got lucky on a kayak. I mean, I got really lucky because the one I would have bought wasn't available. And then when I found some used ones I like, you couldn't find a roof rack. And then when I found some bigger ones that I liked, you couldn't find a trailer. So I ended up getting lucky and getting a trailer and a kayak at the same time. Hey, Raja. It probably isn't, but it could be her making up fake names. I mean, she has nothing else to do. No, there wasn't any mosquitoes until I got back. Man, there was 1,000 of them swimming around that light. Well, like I said, it's not that big of a lake. I mean, the one big clue you have is that you've only got about 35% of woods, and everywhere else is lined with houses. So in the worst scenario, you just look over to where it's pitch dark and you know that that's that side of the lake. But this light's burned out up here, actually, which is a big deal. You know, when you come down here and you drive around, you're not paying attention because you're in a vehicle, you have headlights. But when you're in a boat, when I was coming back last night, it's the first thing I noticed. It's like, God damn it, that light's burned out. Which when you're putting your straps on and everything and not wanting to forget anything, that light's a big deal. Yeah, it has to be visible for a mile, which isn't very hard on water. Yeah, that's the thing. It has to be visible for a mile. Yep. Which I don't really get. I mean, I get that, but it can be anywhere. Which is why I'm going to Velcro the red and white light to the front, because if I'm coming towards you, you're not going to see that white light. I'm not going to be out at night that much anyway. But you can imagine what a 14-foot kayak looks like with hardly any lights on it in the middle of the night. I doubt that I'd be easy to see. So I'm not going to it's not like I'm going to be out in the shipping zones of the Great Lakes. What I thought about doing is getting a little mini strobe light that you could turn on with a switch and stuff. And even though it isn't a requirement, if I was out like I was last night and I heard a power boat, I'd turn that damn thing on. At least until the boat was gone. I mean, I don't want to get chopped up into little pieces by a prop. Yeah, I think I'd probably work about a mile away. I mean, a mile's not that far. This is probably close to a mile across. And you know, when there's nothing in between, it's easy to see light. But like the scenario I gave last night, you know, I'm paddling around, I'm legal, and all of a sudden I see this thing. I said this earlier. It looked like Jesus standing up. It looked like a statue. And what it was is two guys fishing in this expensive boat with no lights on, and the guy was standing up casting, and there was some little light down near his feet that was illuminating his body. I was like 15 feet from him before I could figure out what it was on a clear night. We talked for a little bit, but I was saying earlier today, let's say for an example, he got an emergency phone call at home, and I'm coming toward them just like I was last night, and they hurry up and started the motor and went forward and hit full throttle. They'd run right the hell over me. The nose is coming up. You're not, I'm way, way low in the water. So I don't want that happening. So I want to have something that I can turn on if I have to, if I hear some big power boat within a decent distance. Yeah, that's right, KF. Yep. Yeah. I know two people up here that got run over by boats. One lady got like 430 stitches, cut her from the buttocks all the way up to the back of her head. There's another company that used to build all the McDonald's franchises up around here, the buildings. And that son was run over by his own boat. Yeah, up at Torch Lake or Charlevoix or someplace like that. So, I mean, it's hard enough surviving in the water when you're out in the middle of nowhere if you're not a good swimmer, let alone having one arm missing. Oh, yeah, I believe it, Jody. Yep. Yeah, I believe that. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get like a strobe light. Another thing I'm going to get is a rechargeable, waterproof handheld light. I hadn't been out in the dark in a long time, and I had power boats before, so you just plug it in. But last night, even with a kayak, believe it or not, coming up to this area with that light burned out, like I had to get 10 feet from it to realize I was in the right place. So if I get a big bright light, I can like identify, you know, low water. There was a couple times last night too where I was in really low water. And normally in the daytime, you just look down. It's like, wow, this isn't very deep. But I could feel that drive on that kayak hitting the bottom a little bit. It's no big deal because it's sand and it's soft. Yeah, you're right, Jennifer. Oh, okay, Joni. Hey, Johnny. Oh, did you really, Johnny Pie? No kidding. Oh, really, KF? So what I'm going to do, I'll have my plate. I don't think I'm going to take Daisy to Taos the first time. I think, and I don't want to leave her in the car being gone that long, no matter what the temperature is. But my plan is to park there at where that Tony's Tacos is over across from the police station, the sheriff's department. Put it in there and paddle across the bay over to Tawas Point. And then paddle up and down that area for a while. It's way better over there with the protection of a bay. Minus getting a strong wind from the southeast, you could still be in trouble, but that hasn't been happening lately. Yeah, you're right, Kayak. Yeah. Yeah, the thing about those flares is they all expire after a while. And they're not cheap. I think I'd rather just have a waterproof strobe. Yeah, I've been to Sturgis a lot, yeah. I'm not going to be out like at night where there's many boats. Like last night there was one boat besides me. I like being out when there's nobody around. Like a night like tonight's perfect. But, I mean, even though I like it and even though it's cool, the truth of the matter is once the sun goes down, I mean, what's the sense of it all if you're not fishing? But for that 45 minutes to an hour, I really enjoy just being out there by myself. I'm going to make Tawas my first trip. Then I'm going to go to Mackinac Island. Mackinac, I'm going to check that out. I really have the wrong kind of kayak to go to the island. But on the right day, I'll do it. I figured it would take me an hour. The wind's coming out of the west and the current's coming out of the west. It would take me an hour to paddle to the island. And I'll just have to get good conditions. And then my trip after that, I'm going to Sault Ste. Marie. I want to paddle my kayak in the locks with a big freighter. Wait in line. Oh, thank you, Heather. That St. Mary's River's faster than hell. Big time. Then I want to go to Port Huron, paddle around there. And then I'm going to go down to Zug Island and do a nighttime video back around all the industrial areas under Rouge Bridge, Zug Island. No, it's only 5 miles. I can paddle 6 miles an hour. No, I can paddle. I can cruise along because remember, mine's paddle powered now. 6 miles an hour. Yeah, the current's strong up there, right? You know, it's funny you should say that because I was looking last night. I'm not going to go on a windy day. But I was looking last night, and let's take for an example, I tried to make it over to Mackinac Island. And the wind cropped up. It's like the worst scenario you could be in because if you see East Bridge, you're just heading out into big, huge open areas into Lake Huron. You know, I don't know, Heather. I never camp. You know, for some reason, it interests me. I've been up there and I've seen it, and it's kind of off the beat. It's just, I don't care about it that much. I'm not really into waterfalls either. Yeah, there's a lot of big morel mushroom hunting around here. I didn't hear too many people talking about this year, so I don't know whether it was a bad year or they found a bunch and didn't want to tell anybody where they were looking or what. Yeah, I've done that before in a boat down around Zug Island under the Rouge Bridge. But I'm actually want to do it more in a kayak. Almost impossible to flip over, which is why I went with this kind of model. If you look at the Fisherman 14 Hobie, Hobie, you'll see there's a lot of YouTube videos on it. Practically impossible to flip over. You can like be my weight, like 225, and stand on the side and stand on the front or stand out in the bottom, and you're still at the very back, you're still not going to flip it over. I mean, I'm sure if you got in like heavy waves that, you know, you could get it flipped over if you got sideways. I mean, there's a certain point to where if you get the right size waves, you're getting sunk one way or the other. Now, mine will float even if it's underwater, but I'm not going to hopefully ever be in those conditions. I was just for the hell of it looking up the wave heights in like Superior and everywhere, Huron record wave heights. And it's like, holy shit, man. I mean, this is like probably November gales or something. You wouldn't be out there anyway, but they say that this Hobie can take 2 and 3 foot waves, which I would rather not try. I mean, if I was in a bathing suit and in Taos Bay over near Taos Point State Park where the water was 2 feet, it may be fun then. But other than that, forget it. But they have 25-foot waves in these Great Lakes. You can forget it, man. You'd go over one of those before it dumped your ass. Yeah, it's interesting. I never really knew too much about a dry suit, but I was reading about wetsuits, which everybody knows those are for. And it's funny that, you know, I think it's a roll of the dice. Do you plan on getting dunked or do you plan on not getting dunked? Because that's the decision you need to make on what kind of suit you need to buy. And a lot of these hardcore fishermen, they get dry suits. So I guess they plan on never being in the water. But if you're in the water, you'd rather have a wetsuit. I mean, I like being out like in the fall. And if you look at water temperature, let me tell you this. If you had a wetsuit, here's the thing. When the air temperature is not bad, you will sweat your ass off in a wetsuit. I mean, that's the problem, not being too hot when you're above water. But if you had a wetsuit on, and you can take water down to 43 degrees, no big deal. And if you look at the water temperature of the Great Lakes, I mean, that would get you into November in the worst possible scenario. Yeah, but if it's the whole value and gradient on a wetsuit is how thick they are. You can get them from 2 millimeters to 7 millimeters. And of course, the thicker the better. But a 7 millimeter wetsuit, you can just frolic around in 43-degree water all day long. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I mean, this is where you got to make the decision. Do you plan on being in the water or above it and just cold? That's a decision you got to make. Because if you're in the water, you'd want a wetsuit. If you're going to be above the water, you'd want a dry suit. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Good girl, hon. That's my take on the whole thing. Yeah, I've never worn one either. No, I've never worn one either. Nope. I got an idea that really it's just probably too much bullshit. Because, like I say, if you're in a wetsuit and you're not in water, you get hot really quickly. It's easy to overheat in a wetsuit. So, I mean, how are you going to get lucky enough to not be too hot until you're in the water? And if you're in a kayak, why would you be in the water most of the time? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, so I'll probably just avoid that. Go out and take some fall trips, and when it's not too bad, when it's calm. Hey, Paul, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, that's about it. Hey, BK. Yeah, it's a calm night. I'm gonna let Daisy run around some more after this car leaves. Daisy just chilling out with Dad. Good girl. I got Daisy a couple rib bones in on me. Want to go pee-pee, hon? Okay, hon. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Jennifer. Yeah. I don't want to this isn't like a survival TV show. It's just out having fun, using some reasonable precautions. I don't want to go out there like the abominable snowman and being the most paranoid person in the world. It's like, oh look, there's that crazy Tom Reed. He's got a wetsuit on, a snowmobile suit, and it's early September because he thinks he might tip over his kayak that's almost impossible to tip over. He'll be back in the nut house again, just by observations of people that aren't insane. I'll get a call from the psychiatric hospital. Tom, we know you've been doing great for about the last 4 years, but somebody sent us a photo of you underneath the Mackinac Bridge with a wetsuit on and a snowmobile suit and a helicopter surplus searchlight. We'd like to see you again. Yeah, no shit, man. I mean, I don't mind taking I do like being on at night, and I do like being alone, and I do like being isolated. But I'm still alive, so I must have done. Was a little bit. I think I got. Plus, you got to be lucky too. I'm not shitting you, man. I've had a couple close calls, but it wasn't because I was unsafe. Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, we'd like to see you again. It's like, doctor, I got this kayak, and a lot of people drown, doctor, in kayaks. They do. They go out there and they get hypothermia. They have a bad life jacket. Doesn't work. They drown, and all I'm trying to do is stay alive. I don't know what want to see me again. I mean, to me, it seems like I'm doing the right thing. It's like, well, we'd love to put you on an antidepressant. It's like, I'm not depressed, motherfucker. I'm doing every possible due diligence there is to stay alive in a kayak, and you think I need psychiatric care. Oh, wow, KF. Hey, Buttercup. I mean, maybe I'll just trade it in on a submarine. Oh, hear the loons? Hear the loons? Hear that loon? I'm really gonna feel good when I see some of these little baby loons on this mother back. But man, I'll tell you, it's getting late. It should have happened by now. Hear the loon? That is so cool. Those loons are actually out in the middle of the lake right now. I can't see them, but I can see their trail where they're swimming. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Daisy, there's loons out there, hon. Hey, Cheryl. Oh, really? Did you get mussels? The Cantu Cafe? I haven't been there in 35 years. I read an article where they had new owners a couple years ago. I hope they survived the COVID and it's not somebody else. Oh, cool. No, the pedaling is nothing. It's not like a bike. It's about half the stroke and way, way easier. It's like a 10 speed in first or second gear. No, it's nothing. My legs aren't sore at all. No, it's easy, thank God. Oh, good. Do they still have the feather bowling? Yeah, I know it. I haven't seen any babies, but I haven't gotten that close. Only once I saw the female. Oh, cool. Wonder what those loons are like making that noise for. There's a blue jay. Seafood platter charbonneaus. No, chateau something. Excellent food there. Chateau something. There's a second part. It's in Luna Pier. You can't just type in Chateau Luna Pier. It'll come right up. You could blindfold yourself, and once you get off at exit 6, that's an excellent restaurant. That's the best restaurant I've been to in a long time. Great everything. You know, feather bowling, it's just, you can look it up. I never did it, but I know they do it there. The place is famous. Look at the moon. Oh yeah, loons can really decimate a lake with fish consumption. Big time. So can cormorants. And ahingas in Florida. So can, you wouldn't believe how much a damn blue heron and an egret can eat. Those damn blue herons, I had them clean out a pond of koi of mine. Cost me about $1,000 in less than 2 weeks. They ate every damn koi in there. And it's funny because when you're watching them, if you look at that little video I uploaded the other day, I just happened to get an egret actually catching something and eating it. But most of the time, you see these things standing there and you're wondering how they survive. You never see them like getting anything. And it was the same way with those blue herons. You go out there, you watch that thing for an hour, it's just standing there staring into the water. And then 2 weeks later, you go in there and you run a net through the thing, and there's not one damn koi left. The heron ate them. Hey Kim, how's your diet going, Buttercup? You still going full tilt on that? Is it bringing you the dividends you'd hoped for? Hey Cheryl. Yeah, snapping turtles do too. Daisy, I'll get a snapping turtle, put it on you, hon. How would you like that? Daisy was so cute. You know, she's not a cuddler. When I was home to into the pepper, she hardly ever does that. You talking again? Huh? See how wide her legs are? You talking again, hon? Hey, Neckbone. Hey, Deanna, how you feeling? Coots. Hey, hon. I cut her hair a little. You good, girl? You feeling good? A coyote would kill Daisy. I mean, Daisy's a tough dog, but they're experts at killing things. Actually, I had some coyote tracks about 2 years ago. In the wintertime, you could see where the damn thing was in the back of the condo, and it was going in and out of all the balconies looking for something to eat. And I thought right then, I'm not letting Daisy out in the back anymore. This is how that would happen. You'd be inside, you'd hear Daisy scream, you'd go out in the back, and Daisy's a little big for a coyote to want to attack, but it's possible. And she'd be bleeding from the neck, and you probably wouldn't get her to the veterinarian in time. They're experts at killing animals. That's why you'll see people that are up north in Michigan and they got signs all over. Fifi, we stopped at the rest stop and Fifi got spooked. Somebody let off a firecracker. We've been looking for her for 2 weeks. Well, I can tell you what happened to Fifi. She got out there in the woods and coyotes ate her. They'll probably find Fifi's collar someplace 10 years from now. That's what happens. Domestic pets are easy pickings for wildlife. So even though, Daisy's a pretty tough dog, a coyote would tear her up in no time. A raccoon would kill Daisy too. They're experts at killing things. That's one thing that kind of turned me off when I was down at Hilton Head. It's a bunch of like rich people. When you got a lot of money and you don't work and you don't do shit, you got a lot of time to sit around and start trying to save the world like Bill Gates. Go down to downtown Seattle, try and help that place out. But you get this with a lot of rich people. They have nothing else to do, so they find a cause. The Kennedys were like this. Whether it's people with Down syndrome, or you get passionate about something and you cram your beliefs down everybody else's throat. I'm not saying it's always good or it's always bad. And that happened in Hilton Head with alligators. These alligators have more rights than you do. You live in a $6 million house down there and an alligator will come over there and eat both your pets. And they'll say, well, that's the way it is. You moved down here and you knew there were alligators were here. I'll tell you one thing. I like wildlife and all that, but when I saw the way they acted down there, I mean, if there's an alligator out in your front yard down in Hilton Head, they'll tell you, well, take the day off work. The damn alligator's got more rights than you do. I'm all for, preservation and environment and all this stuff, but not to that point. If there was an alligator, or same with grizzly bears, shooting a grizzly bear, if I lived anywhere where there was a grizzly bear or an alligator and it was going to try and kill Daisy, I would kill every one of them happily with a big smile on my face. Now you could say, well, you shouldn't have had Daisy out there anyway. It's like it was in the backyard. This thing got over the fence somehow. I would kill this alligator for sure. And I would kill a grizzly bear too if I thought it was going to get Daisy. That's just the way it's going to be. I'll worry about the consequence later. But this notion that I'm invading their territory and that, it's not okay to protect your pet, you can scrap that idea in my mind. Not happening. I swear to God, I'll go on a shooting rampage. I'll kill every goddamn alligator in South Carolina. Yeah, you can go ahead and lock me up, but you're going to have to import your alligators after I go on a rage, because there aren't going to be any in Hilton Head. Yeah, man, it's just, this is all cool now. Now, they got a thing in Michigan now. The Mississauga, it's our only venomous snake. The Mississauga rattler. And these things are endangered, which I'm fine with protecting him. And really, you gotta go out of your way to get bit by one. But if you do, I'll tell you this is a part they don't. Hear the loons? See, that's interesting. These loons are flying. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Same thing. I'll tell you this, I can tell you now, and I would have never admitted it before because I'm charged with a felony, but when I got dropped off uh, in Alaska for 11 weeks, I never saw a person the whole time I was there. I'm out in bear country. You know, someone just ate a lady the other day out in Montana. You know what I had in my damn extended backpack? And I had to get, come here, hon. No, get over here. Come here. Come here. You know what I had in my backpack? A sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun. And every other round was a deer shot, slug, deer shot, slug. Yep. And if I'd ever got caught with that, I'd have gotten in huge trouble. But I researched it. You know, it's the likelihood of getting attacked is low, but I was out there by myself, and all I could think of was just running around with my arm missing with 10 more weeks before somebody was going to show up, and I thought, the hell with that. I bought a damn 12-gauge shotgun, sawed it off so it fit in my backpack, had a whole damn 2 boxes of shells. That thing had crept up on my camp like they did that Timothy Treadwell. I'd have been making the biggest bear rug you've ever seen. But they will really stick it to you. If I'd have gotten caught, hear that helicopter in the distance? If I'd have gotten caught, that's a big felony charge. And if I'd have shot a bear protecting myself, that's a big felony charge. I had it all planned out. If I had to put one between the eyes of one of those bears, believe me, I hope it never came to that, and it never did. I'd have kept that damn shotgun right until the end of the 11th week, flung that son of a bitch in the lake before I was leaving. As far as I'm concerned, that's mission accomplished. George Bush, when he got elected, George Bush II, he made it where you could carry firearms again in a national park and protect yourself, and that's one of the reasons why. Well, now, I mean, back then, I mean, bear spray's come a long way. I got the good bear spray now. Honestly, I'd rather have bear spray than a shotgun. I really would. It squirts far. It's a lot of it. I'd take a 6-pack of those damn things. Look at those YouTube videos of bear spray. You see guys shoot these damn bear right in the head with 30-06, and they still bite the hell out of them. Not with that bear spray. Man, those damn things head the hell out of Dodge when you give them a dose of that. Oh, big time. Huge. Yeah, I'm the same way, Irish. Yeah, I'm the same way. But you will get charged criminally. They'll come after you for that. See, this is what happened last night. Now the mosquitoes are coming out a lot. Daisy, come on. Let's go bye-bye, son. Let's go walkie bye-byes. As soon as the sun went all the way down. Atta girl. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're partying, huh? Yeah, we go partying, huh? Good girl, honey. Yeah, it's concealable. Yeah, you don't have to conceal it, though. Get the good one. It's $38 on YouTube. I got it right here. They give you a holster with it. Right here. Yeah. This one. Big old can. See how many ounces this is. 7.9 ounces, and it squirts like 70 feet. It's got a bear on the front. 38 to 39 bucks on eBay. The other ones are junk. Make sure you get this one. Some states they can't ship it to it, so you know it's good. Yeah, Michigan's great, Johnny. Shit, yeah, I'll carry it with me. Hey, Mary, how you doing? How come you're not uploading pictures, just videos? No, it's not. It's not going to save you from anything. I don't know if this helps you, but it's about the size of a large dildo. You said you were interested in dating. I mean, talk about a second use. Shit, yeah. Yeah, dual purpose. I think it would be. Now, this is going to buffer for about a minute until I get out of here, so bear with me. Slot machine. Boy, it's cooled off nice tonight. Yeah, the buffering will be over in a minute. Oh, yeah, you ought to move back, Johnny. Michigan's a good state. It really is. Mary, how come you're not using your camera, or are you using it? Yeah, there's a lot of. This is a good. I'm telling you, I ran into a lady today. She's working at Tractor Supply, and she's adopted like 6 kids. She's 58 years old. She's got a 6-month-old all the way to a 21-year-old. Foster mom, and then she adopted him. Super nice lady. But she's like me. She's lived all over the place. And she said, you cannot beat West Branch. So nobody locks their doors. Now the only downside is if you got to work, nobody pays anything up here. It's like living in Florida. But you can't have it both ways. 85. Yeah, she's this really nice. She said she had 1 kid the old-fashioned way. He's like, yeah, old-fashioned way. He said, you're about my age. I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, with all this play money that I get, YouTube, you know, I told you about that. I give it all away. I'm fine with that. It's fun giving it away. You know, just being able to do things that, you know, money you get that you didn't earn, unearned income. I'll give you an example. I went in and got that Penang curry tonight. Super sweet girls. You know, not bitching at all. And I said, hey, is it busy today? No, it wasn't. But maybe it'll be busy tomorrow. I mean, I'd be like suicidal if I was depending on the money. I'd be bitching up a storm from the beginning of the time I got there to the time I left. So I said, you guys didn't get much tips? She said, no, we didn't get many tips today. But we got to clean a lot, and we got to stock the shelves. And I thought, So I gave them $50 to split between the two of them. Now, would I do that if that was hard-earned money? Probably not. You know, that's different. But when you're getting it like for free off YouTube videos, I like being able to do stuff like that. And any time that I do that someplace, when I just feel bad, they're showing up to work instead of sitting on their ass collecting stimulus money. I don't care what state I'm in, how old the person is, what sex they are. Every single one of them automatically says this: I say, here, I want you to take this as a tip. They all say this. I can't quite figure this out. They all say, are you sure? It's like, yeah, I'm sure. It's funny how that's an automatic response. Everybody says that. Like, why would they think I'm not sure about it? Like I'm drunk or something? Now, if I was in a topless bar, I think that'd be an appropriate question. Casino, here I come. But they all say the same thing. Are you sure? I am. I mean, I do have my fair share of mental problems. That's for sure. But I don't know. I don't give a shit. I got enough money. Not like I'm rich or something. But, I don't have to work, and I'm lucky. I'd like to tell you it was all hard work and stuff, but it wasn't. I have been lucky. Got shit lucky. Hey, by the way, I told you guys, I hear from Tassie. I've told you this. Tassie's got a free pass with me. Anything she wants, she's getting. And she texted me yesterday. Tassie's the most straight up, honest. You notice nobody hassles Tassie. Everybody likes her, from her customers to her co-workers to where she lives. So she texted me yesterday, and Tassie's straight to it. She said, Tom, I hate calling you if I need some money. And Drew and I decided to live in our car to save money. And I need some money to get a car air conditioner. It's like, yeah, that's no problem, man. Well, how much do you want? She said, I need how much it was. She said, I need $50. So I sent her 55 because big deal, right? Because they take money out for PayPal. Sure enough, I'm going to post it later. She sent me a photograph of them in their car with this air conditioner on the dash. And it said something like, this motherfucker keeping a gem of a person. No, that's one of those days you get. Yep. I hate it when it. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. See, I like driving now. I'll tell you, this stuff has changed things. I mean, you know this anyway, right? But it's nothing back to normal. Here it is a Sunday night, and I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but there should be a hell of a lot more traffic going south right now. And, people going back to the Detroit area and that kind of thing. And here I'm the only car on the road. There's a car behind me. The traffic is down. I mean, when you look at some numbers, they say traffic is up. So I don't know how they're calculating this bullshit. But normally you would find a bunch of people stretching out their fun weekend and then, trying to make it home by midnight to Detroit. Holding payments, really? Yeah, it's nice out. Yeah, there's a moon out, but it's still kind of dark tonight, Yeah, Dr. Great. I mean, I like out driving. Gas, $3.30 a gallon. God damn it. I'm in the home stretch now. I have maybe about 50 more years probably alive. I didn't think I'd make it this far. I like watching cars. I've realized as I've aged that I'd rather be near an expressway than out in the middle of nowhere here in Crickets. You wouldn't think that. you know, you're kind of geared towards being out in the middle of nowhere with nature. I did that a few times, and every single time I tested the waters, I regretted it. I just realized that I like nature. Oh, a lightning bug got smashed on my window. I do like nature. Well, here's a little more traffic, but only in small doses. I like Mackinac Island for about a day or maybe 2 days. I like Key West for about 2 days. And I like being out in Mother Nature for about 2 days. Not 2 months, 2 weeks. I want to be able to go down and get a 12-pack of Coors Light, a Dragon's Milk, Ardbeg 10, watch some Pornhub, feed the birds, paddle around my kayak, and once I get that, I want to surf the net, upload videos, watch birds. Yeah, thank you, J-Bo. And actually, you know, honestly, J-Bo, I appreciate it, but, and I'm not bragging, but, you know, I've gotten lucky with YouTube. I never expected a dime, so, I mean, unless you won the lottery, as long as I can cover these things these people need, I'm fine with it. I don't want you guys using your money. And really, it's kind of a relief. You know, I tell people I don't want any donations for anything. I don't want people on the chat giving me money. Please don't. I don't need it. It'd be fraud, man. I get money from YouTube now. And it's just like play money. So do you use your hard-earned money when I'm willing to cover this, whatever it is they need? It doesn't make any sense. But thank you for the offer. I'm telling you, and it's nice to do this. They need something, no problems. Phone bill, rubbers. And I'll tell you this too, I've done this too. I never admitted to this before, but I'm going to do it tonight. There's been times, and this is a tough call, but in the real world, if you understand drug addiction and you know what it's like for a working girl to be out there for years, that this notion that they get money and buy drugs isn't going to immediately kill them because it came from someone from like me. There have been times when, and I would, this is why I'm glad I don't have a social work degree or I'm not a nonprofit. Because this is where you get out of the box sometimes and they'll hand your ass to you. They'll say, you're crazy, you're enabling drug people. No, I'm not. But there have been a couple times when, I'll give you a couple examples, when I know that girls were getting murdered and beat up and stuff. 2 times like that, and there's been about 5 times where people were on their way to rehab. And I knew they were going to go there. And I was really wishing the best for them. And I said, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you some money. And I know, or here's another instance where people were going to get out of that lifestyle. They'd worked out a way to get out of Dodge, to go with family, just to give it a whirl, right? I said, hey, look. And when I realized that it got down to the point where either their life was in more danger than it normally be. They were about ready to get out of Dodge. To tell you the truth, I didn't want them out there on the streets for that next week. They didn't even ask me for it. But I thought to myself, you know what? If you get $500 or $600, whether you get it through blowjobs or whether you get it from a guy like me, at the minimum, I know that for this week, this time period, you're not going to be out on the street. And I know that I can control, hopefully, you really not being out there. You don't need, none of these girls would be out there if they had the money. It sucks. all these perverted weirdos, sexual crazies. And I'll tell you, I spent 1,000 on that, because anytime that I did that and I just went ahead and gave them money and said, hey, look, every single time it worked. They got the hell out of Dodge. They went to rehab. It was all good. But people love to ask me the question, you know, when they don't like what you're doing, it's like, well, what if the money you sent, they caused them to overdose? Well, how would you feel? I'll tell you how I'd feel. It wouldn't bother me a bit. I'd sleep like a baby. You know why? Because I didn't send anybody anything with the intention of their life ending. I said, how would you feel if they overdosed because they just earned $600 giving blowjobs to perverts? How would you feel? When I could have given them $600 and they wouldn't have had to leave the house until they were leaving town or going to rehab. How would that make you feel? Well, they don't want to answer that question. Life isn't perfect. I wish there were better alternatives, but any time that I've done that, I'm glad that I did. And I don't regret it, and I'm not apologizing for it. That's how the real world works. Oh, it's all pervert. I'll tell you what it is. A lot of it is beatings and shit, like pulling hair and weird shit like that. It's not just normal sex. Let me tell you, the stuff they do is way different than a $300 or $500 escort. That damn escort's going to call the cops, and they're going to show up because it's more likely in a different area. When you're out there giving blowjobs for $10 at a pop, you're not exactly getting the creme de la creme of nice people. It sucks, man. I'm telling you, it's terrible. My whole premise on the whole thing is, I know what they're into mentally, these girls, and what they think of themselves and how they feel and how every day's a struggle. And that's what motivates me. That's why I don't want to see anybody feel like that. It's the same thing with, you know how it is in life. It's the same thing with porn. Do I watch porn? I do. When a young girl tells me she's thinking of getting into dancing or porn or stripping, I tell them to avoid it like the plague. What do you need? Money? A place to live? Do not do that. Same thing I do with eating meat. I don't want, but I still eat the things that people kill to provide for me. It's just one of these things in the world, man. I don't want to do both. But anybody that I've known that has run that by me, I do whatever I can to talk them out of it. It's crazy, I know. Hi, Daisy. Yeah, life, man, it's not perfect. It isn't. And it's also what keeps me from going crazy when I think about people like Raven that died, because somewhere along the way, they gave up. And that possibilities were, in a positive way, were remote. They had their ass handed to them so many damn times in life. They were tired of it, and they didn't have the energy to want a different life. They were impossible. Yeah, I don't think there's anything going wrong with the strip joint. It's life, man. It's not, I mean, look, it's I did when I was younger. I mean, I don't have a problem with strip joints. But like I said, this is one of these conundrums you're faced with. But if I don't have a problem, how do you go to strip clubs and talk somebody out of becoming an employee at one? I can just tell you that's what I've done. I guess I just want better for people. here's the thing, strip club, but I've never run workers or strippers or porn people that were happy. The whole thing with me is the framework of your mental wherewithal. How do you feel about yourself? Is life good? Do you want to live? Do you want to die? And they don't. This is a way to pay bills, but they all absolutely hate going to work. I don't want that for somebody. I do the same thing with MMA. I watch those fights. I like them, but you know what? I wouldn't want anybody I know doing that shit. And if I had a son, there is no way in hell, as long as he was living under my roof, he was going to do MMA. Not happening. So, I mean, that's a conscience attack too, because if people like me didn't watch, there'd be no market. And in theory, it wouldn't happen, but I still watch. So that's that paradox you have as a human. On one hand, I like it, and I know I'm not going to stop people for doing it. I'm a consumer. But yet, people that I know, I don't want them doing that shit. God knows, you think football concussions are a big deal and boxing deaths. You wait as you see these MMA guys as they age. I guarantee you it's going to be shocking. I promise you this. The sport's too young to really know what older MMA guys are going to be like. But I promise you, from what I've read on head trauma and brain hemorrhages and concussions, it's going to be way worse than anything you've seen. And like most things, money fixes things to an extent. You know, when you're getting your brains beat in, they're paying you $30 million a year, that's one thing. When they're paying you $3,500, that's another. Look at Gerald McClellan. Perfect example. You know what sucks about that? There were a lot of things that came together for that to have happened. Mainly a long count by a foreign ref. If that had been anywhere else, he'd have been counted, knocked out, and Gerald McClellan had went on and probably lived a great life. Instead, he's been basically brain dead for the last 25 years. All because of that bullshit ref. See, here's some more people get going home. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that'd be good. Seriously, Mary, no kidding. Wow. You know, now why it made me think, I saved the article, I'll actually email it to you, but there was a lady that wrote an article about the difference in reading and how your brain assimilates data. And they found through the studies, now I didn't read any studies, she just mentioned them, that you comprehend and you learn at a much better rate reading a physical page than you do on a computer screen. It's a well-written article. I'll send you a copy of it. I hope that's true. And this lady's some kind of reading consultant, and she was actually paid by people to become better readers. And it was interesting, the list of her clientele. I mean, I like knowledge, but I kind of got to force myself to read. It's human behavior. It's interesting. I figure if I read like I watched Pornhub, I could be on Jeopardy. So why isn't something that would be more practical more interesting to me? Why isn't the other way around? I mean, no shit, man. Why isn't it, though? You know, I mean, really. 102. I'd move. What do they get you for your Christmas presents? Air conditioners? Yeah, it's better. It's definitely better. Oh, a log cabin, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, I got my air conditioner on. I didn't give a shit about it when I was younger, but I do now. I don't think I can fall asleep if it's like hotter than 76. I'll tell you another thing. You know, I mention my doctor all the time, and he tells me little tips, like don't get on a ladder over 50. Yeah, he says that one of the top ways to end your life when you're older is having a fan blowing on you, even if it's in the summer. He said, do not have it blowing directly on you. I got a little mini fan for Daisy. It blows directly on her. Doesn't seem to bother her. Pneumonia. You fall asleep and you get chilled. Now when you're young, who cares, right? You can sleep on a goddamn hardwood floor. You can screw standing up when you're young. You can do anything when you're young. You know, it's all like, you know, I guess resiliency, your immune system. Yeah, no kidding. He tells me that all the time. A lot of stuff like that. You know, the way that I had to, when I had to do all this taping, to do this painting, there's a weird position that it puts me in where I've got to be on top of this ladder and up close to the ceiling and the wall, and I'm reaching above my head and I'm trying to tape this line so it looks right, you know, so it follows the line of the ceiling and where the wall meet. So what happens is it forces me to like have my hands above my head, stretched out, and doing like a 2 or 3 foot section at a time. Well, because of the angle on the ladder, it forces me, and I'm right-handed, it forces me to have this weird torque on my hip joint, my right hip joint. It's weird, I know. And man, that has bothered me the whole way through doing this taping job, because of when I'm on the ladder. My hip hurts like hell, and there's no way around it, because other than placing the wall on the ladder and leaving it folded, I have to do it that way. But I was just thinking of that today. I mean, you're young, like, it doesn't matter. You're not even going to notice it. But it's just that movement, and actually. Hey, Janine. Jeannie, I meant. Pinconning, cheese capital of the world. Yeah, don't get on ladders. 50 and older, don't get on ladders. And if you do get on one, get a good one, like I got. I think I would have even got a better one than I got. You know what I've noticed? After about 20 minutes, the stairs, even though it's the best ladder I could find, a Keller, fiberglass, 7-footer, 325-pound weight restriction. I think the stairs are, the steps are too skinny. It hurts my feet after about 20 minutes. Seems like you should get longer than that on a damn step, but maybe not. You know, it's not designed to like stay on that long, maybe. I'm sure painters, professional painters, I bet you money the steps are wider. Good night, Jennifer. Won't be handing out that pizza anymore. You tell that pharmacist you want some Klonopin to give to your jealous boyfriend. Yeah, spotter's not practical though. I mean, it's a good idea, but I got enough bugs on my windshield. Oh, there's a bunch of deer right there. See them walking on the side of the road? I think chiropractic's bullshit, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I think chiropractic's total bullshit. I mean, I guess there's applications for it, but I think it's mostly like the power of the mind. People hear the give you a million books, studies to prove this. Placebos are quite often as good or better than the actual medication. Why? Because you perceive getting better based on this pill you just swallowed. It's the human mind, super powerful. And that's what, in my opinion, that's what I think chiropractic is. Any old dumbass in the world can get into chiropractic at school. It's not competitive at all, which speaks volumes. There was a time in Michigan where they weren't even allowed to suggest supplements to take. That's how restricted they were. And it's not because they were a bunch of super smart people. If you go there and you hear on your back and you feel better, well, more power to you. I just don't think there's much science to it. How desperate times call for desperate measures. You know, you're feeling bad, you've went to traditional medicine, you've tried your TENS unit, you've taken your muscle relaxers, and it didn't work. Why not? I'm not saying don't try it. I mean, you never know. But when you listen to the spiel of a chiropractor, I'm just saying to myself the whole time, this sounds like a crock of shit. It's the same with this Chinese herbal medicine bullshit. Go over to San Francisco to the Chinese doctor's office. What's the office filled with in the waiting room? Chinese. Yeah, I've done the gummies a couple times. I can take them or leave it. I'm actually the same way with alcohol. Take it or leave it. I'd rather take it though. You know, it's a shame you've got to evolve as a human being and take a substance to feel better. I mean, I don't drink alcohol because I feel worse. I tell them every time I'm buying alcohol that I wish this didn't work this well and I wouldn't be buying it at all. But I don't think it's all good. You don't need to get schnockered. But I'm in a way, I'm disappointed in myself that I drink even as much as I do. I shouldn't need it. I should be able to do some transcendental meditation, drink my herbal tea, stretch out on my gay yoga mat, and feel good. And that just doesn't work as good as a shot of hard-baked tin, a couple Dragon's Milk, a half bottle of wine, or 4 Coors Lights. You probably took too much on the gummies. You probably did. I read up on that quite a bit. Believe it or not, with THC, less is better. No, alcohol's bad for sleep, even in small amounts. Yeah. I'm not going to drink alcohol and then badmouth it. I'm glad it's around. No wonder people were smuggling it. It enhances. I think alcohol enhances a mood. I do. I think a gummy enhances a mood. I was thinking the other night, I wish that when I was young and going out and parking with girls, I wish I'd had some gummies. I'd probably still be there. They'd find me just dead after 30 days of making out and no food. That's how I want to leave this world. I notice gummy doing anything, it really enhances things. It does. Not too much, but just a little. Whether it's even reading a good book, watching a good movie, a comedian. It supercharges the emotions. There's nobody here tonight. Thank God. This is good. I can tell already. Nobody in the excess lot. And I'm going to go to my favorite parking spot. Daisy, look at we're at the casino, hon. I know you love it here. I go to the same spot all the time. Yeah, nobody here tonight. Thank God. You never know here on a summer night. No more live entertainment anywhere. It's hard to sing with a mask on your face. A lot of people still wearing masks, by the way. So, I'm getting excited and I'm just pulling in the lot. I know my emotions are like... I could never get like these kind of emotions through marriage or girlfriends or family. I always got them through like gambling, porn, drugs, sports, fighting, trips, spontaneity. I'm fucked up. I mean, life's worked out pretty good for me, but it just wasn't going to be like, you ain't going to see me with a family on a vacation anywhere. It just wasn't in the cards. Doing shit like this, man. Now, if you asked me to describe a perfect life, do I lead one? No, I don't. Do I wish I was home cuddling with my wife and my 2 kids going to Harvard? Maybe. I think deep down in my heart of hearts, I think I got like 1% of a romantic bone, but I just don't have those kind of skills. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I mean, I could make friends easy, and I think people like hanging around with me. But that's a world away from like a committed, healthy relationship with a person. I just can't do it. I don't have those tools. Yeah, you know what I mean, Cheryl? It's my girl. Killed her. Very observant. Yeah, I mean, I've had every variety of girlfriends you can imagine, man. I never had a problem with girlfriends. I just got sick of them quick. Yeah, that's how I am, balls to the walls with everything. I have kicked my addiction to collecting. I still don't feel that great, though, man. I don't know whether it's... I got a new mattress ordered I'm getting next week. Also, I got some really good interviews lined up with a black guy. Talk about racism and violence in the black community and blight and hopelessness. And I'm really looking forward to this. I had an hour and 15 minutes in those beautiful conversation with this man you could imagine. And he said, I want to call my wife and have her come down here and meet you. What a sweetheart. And I had laugh, but I had the same kind of experience at the mattress factory. Good guy. I was thinking the whole time I was there, would you guys be interested in selling this to me? It's a mattress factory in the middle of farm fields, the most beautiful farms you've ever seen in your life. Old school guy, no bullshitting around, everything's word of mouth. I'm in whitey land, and 2 black people come in to buy mattresses that are just super friendly. I said, hey, you know, I know this sounds crazy, but how would you end up here buying a mattress? They said our grandmothers bought them here. It was just a great day. And the mattress place told me about the barbecue guy, and it was just, I couldn't have had a better day. Believe it or not, now you're going to laugh, and I think this is just strange as hell. But I didn't tell him this. It's called Saginaw Sanitary Mattress. I mean, to me, it sounds like a Kotex manufacturer. I mean, is anybody even wearing those anymore? What kind of a name is that? Well, as it turns out, the company started 85 years ago, and their business prospered into migrant workers, agricultural workers. So the owner of the factory moved to the country where the migrant workers were. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, you guys are going to think this is boring probably, but I'm going to do it anyway. I upload anything. It's a privately owned mattress factory. Straight up, tell you like it is. They said they're not fucking around with foam or gel or any of that bullshit. That they tried to keep up with the market and come out with the foam version. They said it's pure bullshit. Everything's all manufactured coiled springs they get from Wisconsin, cotton they get from Georgia, cloth they get from Illinois. They make custom mattresses. You ready for this? They don't bend you over on them. If you need a custom mattress for your camera, you ever try sleeping on one of these mattresses in a bunk bed or a camper? You felt like they took a couple of your discs out in the middle of the night while you were sleeping. They'll make you custom mattresses at no extra charge. Can you believe that shit? I tried getting a damn mattress before, and they're all 10 weeks order. I'm hoping that my sleep is making me not feel that great, so I figured it's about time I got a mattress. And I tried to buy one, $1,300 for a full-size mattress. I got an antique bed. Couldn't get one anywhere. I almost got one from the SATVA or whatever it is, SAATVA. And then I just chickened out at the last second. Then I almost thought of getting a beauty rest. I need a mattress. And then I, just for the hell of it, got surfing on the net and I saw this place. And I talked to the guy. I said, you know, what's your top of the line full size? I said, I want to just order one. He said, you know, I know you don't want to come down here, but you really should. And sure as shit, I went down there and laid on all these mattresses, and glad I did. He was right. There is something to that. So I'm getting my new mattress next week. Yeah, I didn't feel like doing it, man. I didn't give a fuck. You know, it's just laying on. I mean, to me, it's like when you're a kid and you go to a nature thing and you reach through the hole and you got to figure out what it is, like a pine cone or a goddamn dead cricket. You ever get suckered on that thing as a kid? You know, mystery thing. You reach in there. Even as a kid, I thought, this is so ridiculously boring, man. I don't know what the hell it is. Who gives a shit? And that's kind of where I'm at. You know, shooting yourself in the foot. Here I am bitching about getting shitty sleep, and I don't even want to take 20 minutes to lay down on a mattress because I think it's bullshit. I'll know when I lay on that thing if it's better than the one that I have. The one that I have is a quality mattress, but you sink in the goddamn thing like a big giant load of Charmin. So I'm hoping that's part of my problem. So anyway, I go on this website, I go through all this bullshit, and there's no prices. And then I saw where they said, come down there, and I thought, oh, this has got to be like crazy expensive. All this shit's made in America, and you're still in business, and you're not listing the prices because you're going to lay that on me at the last second. You know how much my brand new top of the line mattress that I tried out is costing me? Take a guess. It's $568. That's all. $568. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm gonna get this thing next week. It's gonna work out though, because I'm gonna go back and interview this black guy. Really had a good conversation. So yeah, but anyway, what I was gonna say is, as I was there talking to these guys, I was thinking, God, I wonder if they'd sell me this company. It's in the most beautiful farm field. I'm gonna videotape it in this cool factory, and you can see all the jigs and all this bullshit. There's only 3 employees, and they make mattresses for people. I mean, if this place got a hold of a good Jew to market it, I'm telling you, man, they'd be just like printing money. But they don't care. They say it's all word of mouth. They don't do any TV advertising, no print. It's all word of mouth. I believe it. Money's not everything. This cool little factory with this great brick ranch that the owner lives in next to it, in the middle of farm country. Look it up. Look where they're at in Saginaw. It's really, I think it's probably Saginaw Township. Saginaw Sanitary Mattress Company. Yeah, it's a custom name. That's their name. They got some name in the damn thing. I didn't pay attention. They call it something. Well, I got suckered on one of those damn Sleep Number beds one time about 10 years ago. Piece of shit. Yeah, old school. The guy told me that people come in there, they find out about them, and they buy 5 mattresses for the whole house instead of one. You can drop $5,000 on a mattress, no problem. I'm not kidding you. Look around. I don't know where all these people come from on the other side of this fence. I don't know why people be parked way the hell over there when you could park closer. Maybe they're employees. I bet that's it. Employee lot. No, I didn't like Sleep Number. I thought it was a scam. Big old giant overpriced waterbed with air instead of water. Dialing in this Sleep Number, man. I got stuck at my ass on that one. That thing was $3,000 10 years ago. I didn't sleep that great. My Sleep Number. Shit. I'd rather invest it in liquor. Oh, thank you, Heather. Yeah, I don't like pillows, to tell you the truth. I don't really like pillows. I don't care what kind it is. I'll sleep with one like with my leg on it, but I don't like my head propped up like that. Well, believe it or not, this firmness, there's quite a bit to it. Whether you're on a box spring that gives, a box spring that doesn't, whether you're on a platform that's hardwood, there's a bunch of versions of what can go under a mattress. And that guy asked me, what kind of box spring do you have? I told him. And he said, well, if the bed you just laid on that you think you want, I guarantee you, if you put that mattress on your bed, you're going to be complaining it's too firm. So, sure as shit, he said, help me move this mattress over to this box spring and I'll show you. And I did it. And sure as shit, I thought, man, I don't want that thing. I said, why don't I just sleep on the fucking floor? Skip this whole thing. He said, see, that's what I was trying to tell you. It's too firm. I mean, when does a bed turn into like just a slab of concrete with firmness? That's the $50,000 question here. Yeah, that healthy backstore, but I think those, what I did learn is there's big money in mattresses. That's why even if you go into a small town like mine, you'll find 2 or 3 mattress stores. That's because you only need to sell one of them a month. Big profit in mattresses. Yeah, I don't really like pillows that much, I really don't. I don't care if it's hard, soft. I don't give a shit. The pillows in my bed, I got 2 of them. Daisy's usually sitting on the top of them. My sleep is shitty, though, I'm telling you. Between this painting that I've done and this prepping and this shitty mattress, I swear to God, I feel like I got butt fucked by an elephant every morning. telling you, man, I get up tired, everything aches. It's like, God damn, is this going to get any worse? Yeah, I think black mussels are cool. Oh, really, Deanna? Wow. Oh, you like 4 pillows, huh? Good for you. No, I don't give a shit what people are into about religion. It's cool with me. I lived in Dearborn, man. There's more Muslims there than any place in the country. It was fine. I never even was thinking to myself, about all these Muslims. It was just like people into a different belief, and I was fine with it. The difference I noticed about Muslims compared to Christians is they knew that you knew they were Muslims, and that was the end of it. They weren't trying to convert you. Nobody was showing up riding a bike with a white shirt and a black tie and cramming a Bible up your ass, which I gave them big time respect for. They knew that you knew that there was a temple there. If you wanted to come, you were welcome. If you didn't, that was fine too. Oh, do you, Tony? Okay. Oh, Hamtramck. Yeah, it sure is. Probably thought you were in Iraq. Speaking of Hamtramck, I wonder what happened to Debbie and Dave. They haven't been around for quite a while. They live in Hamtramck. It's funny we were talking about that. You guys, you got to be around 60. You remember Marion Barry, the mayor of Baltimore? You remember how they set him up on that FBI sting? I was talking to this barbecue guy about that. You better believe they did, man. And they put it on CNN. That was a total setup. You talk about entrapment. He didn't even want to fuck with that crack. He had that good-looking, hot black chick with him coming on. He knew that faking or smoking a little bit of that crack was the difference between a piece of ass and not. You're in a damn hotel room. Who the hell you think's watching? Yeah, they set him up good. That's what the government will do when they really got their sights on you. They'll do shit like that. Because everything else failed. They couldn't catch you just stealing like they tried to sell you to the public to. So they set you up with good-looking girls in a private hotel room and a fifth of Jim Beam. Then they turn the camera on. That's true, Green Thumb. Norman Bates. Yeah, you were probably in Dearborn, not Detroit. Oh, Brandon, you a Muslim, Brandon? Good for you. Oh, big time, man. They screwed him so bad. He got back in, though. They elected him mayor again later on. Marion Barry had a master's in chemistry. You didn't hear that much either. That's because they wanted to portray him as looking as dumb as possible. Hey, Indigo. Believe it or not, if you do the work, if you do research on Coleman Young and don't believe what you read, he was one of the more fiscal minded mayors Detroit ever had. Seriously, check into it. Oh, thank you, Buttercup. Yeah, I remember being at a Tommy Hearns fight one time, and Coleman Young did the introduction at the old Olympia. And man, did he get booed. And I heard him say as he was walking off, you could hear him in the microphone say, fuck him. And I knew right then he was my man. That's it, Tony. Daisy knows she's at the casino. Yeah, you're gonna get a rib bone when we get home, hon. You know that? You're gonna get rib bone, honey. Good night, Dolly. Actually, I think I'm gonna sign off here, you guys, too. I'm gonna go in here and take all this casino's money. I'll spend about an hour, mess around in the slot machine, go home. I'll probably go to bed around 2 like I do. I told you I got a damn dental appointment tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night tonight, what's left of it, and a good day tomorrow. Good night, Johnny. Good night, Dolly. Good night, Andrew. Yeah, see you, Tony. Hey, Jeannie. Good night. Good night, Cheryl. Good night, Deanna. See you, Jeff. I gotta send you your camera thing, man. It's just been like it's stuck in the mud. I got a few things I'm gonna send you. See you, FPS. Yeah, not at this casino. You're not winning a bunch of money. You know when you see somebody's picture on the wall framed and they won $1,200. This isn't any lifestyle changing money. Yeah, thank you, Jabo. Yeah, thank you, Mary. Good night, Heather. I'll see you, Jeff. Look at all those bugs on my window. I'm a long-distance trucker. Yeah, thank you. Oh, okay, Brandon. Okay, good for you. Rib bone. There's a rib bone right there, and Daisy's rib bones. Right, honey? You sleepy, honey? All right, BK, have a good day tomorrow. Take care, you guys. Okay, Dad's gonna go in and win us a bunch of money, hon. Better dog bones. Good night, you guys. Good night, Mary. She's a good girl.